Hi, I'm genuine nard, like the oil poured out on Jesus' feet in the Bible. And this is my series on everything I've learned about growing my natural hair since my big chop. I've done a ton of videos on gardening because I love gardening, and there are a few botanicals that are the queens of a garden. The next one is the rose, and I want to talk about rose water. I used to buy my rose water. It is extraordinarily expensive until I got a great recipe from a girlfriend of how to make my own. So here's the footage. Enjoy.
There are few gifts better in the garden than a rose bush. It is lovely and it smells wonderful. They can add privacy and security under a sunny window, and roses can make your hair and skin beautiful. The vitamins A, B3, C, and E of rose water promote hair growth by nourishing your scalp. These same ACE vitamins make your skin glow. This rose water is surprisingly easy to make. You're going to start with untreated organic roses. A florist would be happy to sell random rose petals. This big bag was about $4, and this recipe takes about 1 pound of petals. The only other ingredient is water. Most recipes require distilled water because it has a clear color, but filtered water works just fine too. This is not an exact science. You want enough water for the petals to be completely submerged and yet still have enough room to float. So when you press them down, they can submerge, yet there's some on top. Perfect. Next, turn the heat on to the lowest setting. You want a gentle simmer like you're making tea. And then the last thing you do is give it a little time. After about an hour, turn the heat off and you will have a very light pink translucent color. This is great. As a side note, if you prefer clear rose water, use lighter colored petals. Use about a cup of petals to a half cup of distilled water and brew it in a cleaned coffee pot, like this old movie one. Use a paper filter. It'll come out clear every time. This is beautiful, but I'm going for a lot more color. Flower pigments of red, pink, blue, and purple come mainly from a class of compounds called flavonoids. These are known to stimulate hair growth. The longer it steeps, the darker it's going to get. So just relax, put the top on, and give it a little time to cool completely. The next morning, and my whole house smells like a wedding. You can see that the petals are more translucent, and the color is like a dark rosé wine. This is what I want. So now that that's done, we are ready to skim it and to strain it. I use my mesh strainer, but I also want to skim the big chunks of petal out. And now you can see that beautiful dark color. All of those flavonoids are going to help stimulate your hair growth and nourish your scalp. Now that it is strained, I can store it in glass bottles for up to 6 months refrigerated. You can also freeze this too, but it doesn't really even last that long in my house. I add this rose water to my bath. I add it to my face. I spray it in my bathroom. In the summer, I mix it with a little alcohol for a light refresher. I even mix it with wine for a yummy sangria. Try this one as an ingredient in your tricked out rice water or even alone as a hydrator. And almost full to the top. Super easy to do. It will save you a ton of money, and it's beautiful.
And that's it. Rose water is the real. I use this recipe now all the time, and I find making my own rose water, it is 1,000 times more potent than anything I spent all that money on buying in the store. So if you try this recipe, please let me know in the comments how you like it. And thank you so much for staying until the end.
Thank you again for watching. I would love to hear your success stories in the comments. You can click the red and subscribe to find all the videos in this series. Click here and check out these other cool videos, and click the bell to get weekly reminders when I post something new.